Outnumbered over time. OT, baby.
Can I start this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go back to Julie.
Yes.
Because I'm getting so many questions on all media. To not care about the integrity of a presidential debate. To say, why should we care?
It's not that I'm saying why should we care. I'm saying to you that if you're Donald Trump, the voters that do care and think the media
You think voters don't care that there was cheating going on with a presidential candidate and the head of the DNC?
I can show you polling that actually buttresses what I'm saying. They don't, because what voters care about is how you're going to improve my life. If you think the DNC is rigged against you, if you think the media is rigged against Donald Trump, guess what? You're a decided Trump
So you're
voter.
just simply saying it won't affect the outcome of the election.
That's all I'm suggesting.
But to say that voters don't care and that American people don't care, that
there is not one voter who's going to make up their mind based on this.
I'm an American voter and I care.
But this is the deciding factor for you? But seriously, you're avoiding the point. You said we shouldn't care. I'm not
and
saying
that the presidential candidate shouldn't discuss it.
If I'm Donald Trump and I'm trying to get an undecided voter to get off the fence to vote for me, stick to Obamacare. Stick to the substance. Stick to the substance. Get off this media thing, because the reality is nobody cares. I'm not defending Donna Brazile. What she did was wrong.
What about what Hillary Clinton did?
I think it's wrong that Corey Lewandowski continues to be on the CNN.
What about Hillary Clinton's accountability?
How about the fact that Donald Trump...
Wait a second.
You
fact on Corey Lewandowski.
Corey Lewandowski was paid as he was on the payroll, continues to be with Trump.
But Donald Trump's not giving entire speeches about this. He's talking, his entire speech today was about Obamacare. So for him to mention this along the campaign trail or when asked in an interview is not going to do him a disservice.
That's what he was doing. I don't think he was trying to make this the central argument. And I think also if he turns it into that bigger point about the rigged system and the establishment, and I think then that does motivate people because it feeds that sense of anger, and we really want change. I think that he can get it to that point, but I don't think he was doing that.
Well, I'll tell you something. If I were in his shoes, all I would do is spend the next 7 days telling me how my life is going to be better under a Trump administration,
and he's doing that.
And going after Donna Brazile, whose name recognition among people who don't watch cable news.
He mentioned it, though. He's not giving.
We did a whole segment on it.
He's not giving entire speeches about this. What did we just hear today during his speech, Julie?
Not today. It was yesterday.
Talking about Obamacare.
Yeah, today. It was yesterday.
Right, he's still on the payroll.
Of course he's still on the payroll. And my point is he's still on the payroll. Why aren't we talking about the fact that Corey Lewandowski continues to work for Donald Trump while on the CNN payroll? Why is he not fired? In fact, if you, Sandra, think that...
He's still on the air?
If you
he didn't do anything...
I'm sorry, but why should he be...
What did he do wrong that deserves firing?
Wait a second. He's on a payroll for a campaign.
I actually agree with this.
While being an on-air pundit. If I were on somebody's payroll right now in a campaign, I wouldn't be here. If I was working for Hillary Clinton, I wouldn't be here. I would take a leave of absence.
But you could say that's a misjudgment on the part of CNN. They shouldn't have hired him. It's not like he's done anything wrong that is egregious, that like leaking a question.
Wait a second. I'm not defending what Donna Brazile did, but I'm saying that if you're going to attack CNN for Donna Brazile, then you have to attack CNN for Corey Lewandowski. You have to.
No, I don't think we are.
Anybody's attacking CNN.
We're attacking Donna Brazile for Donna Brazile.
Well, Donna Brazile, I don't have a disagreement with you on. I will also, but to Sandra's point, the reason you think that I'm wrong about this, why? Who cares? I mean, honestly, if you're a voter,
I think everybody on this couch has just said that they care. I think the American people would care if there was cheating going on in a presidential debate. No. I don't know. I mean, if you cheat in college, they'll let you go from the school. Like, I don't understand why these people can still play.
Particularly the kind of the debate that this was. This was not a debate like what Sandra moderated, where you come in with your own questions, and that would just be weird if you gave somebody.
I mean, I think of the severity of what went on there.
This was a town hall meeting where Americans' voices were supposed to be respected and heard. This was a situation where voters' questions were usurped. That, to me, is more egregious than if I looked at her beautiful notebook and took a question out, which she would run me around the block like you don't know what with.
I think you saw the sensitivity involved in moderating a presidential debate and making sure there's absolutely not even the smallest bit of conflict of interest involved, so that it is fair.
We're talking about two different things. Let me just say the last point.
And then we'll go to Steve.
Right. Let me just say the last point on this. I fully agree with you that what Donna Brazile did was wrong. It is not incongruous to say that while I agree with you with what she did was wrong, not one voter who's already not voting for Donald Trump is going to care.
But just
it does. Sorry.
All right.
I'm curious.
But just one other aspect of that. But what about what Hillary Clinton did there?
What did she do?
Accepted
a question.
So she should drop out based on that?
What does that make you think about the presidential candidate?
Wait, I'm sorry.
That doesn't say, you know what, this is absolutely wrong. Do not do this for me.
I promise we'll let you talk.
I'm not sure there's anything else I want to say. I said my point of view, which is I think that what she did was wrong. I think it shows that people are too cozy with each other. That's what's the underlying point about this notion of the establishment or the elite or whatever you want to call it. I think there's a real truth there. And I think that is why there's such an appeal to both Sanders on the left in terms of, fighting the Democratic establishment and Trump on the right. And there's this underlying sense that people just don't feel that the system is in any way listening to them, and they're all looking out for each other.
Yeah, what I like about the point that you made, you made that first on the TV version of Us, is the fact that the first time I ever went to the White House Correspondent Dinner, I thought, wow, this is so cool. Like, all these people in this room. I was the only one who really needed to read the name tags. They were all extremely cozy with each other. And I thought, do they hang out like that all the time? I mean, I lived in D.C. as a kid, not as an adult covering all of this. And my husband did. He was a reporter on the Hill. And he said, oh, yeah, that's how the game is played. And I said, so how do you separate yourself out? And he goes, well, we're professionals, some of us.
Yeah, but you see, it's a good point, because you see from the WikiLeaks, actually, that's one of the
When you read those emails?
Exactly. It's so cozy, the whole relationship. And
John Harwood, an elite journalist in America. And you read those
can
emails.
I say something about WikiLeaks? Because actually, very nicely, WikiLeaks leaked my cell phone number last week, so I had to change it. Thank you to all the lovely people who called me repeatedly to tell me how much Donald Trump is the greatest person ever and how much I suck.
Did you change your number?
I did change my number. You didn't have to. I didn't. The Russians did. But here's what happened, because I want to clarify this because people are asking me. I did not email John Podesta. I emailed an insurance broker in New Jersey named John Graham, who was upset about the fact that I had been critical of Hillary Clinton on Howard Kurtz's show. I emailed him, pointing out to him that while I'm critical of Hillary Clinton in some instances, often I'm called upon to defend her and other Democrats on this network. John Graham, who runs Fairview Insurance in New Jersey, you should call him, not me, proceeded to BCC John Podesta on those emails without my knowledge. And as a result, I included
the BCC
and
line.
The BCC. I was not aware of this, and as a result, I gave him my number. I said, if you have any concerns, rather than emailing the world complaining about how I'm critical of Hillary Clinton,
classy,
you should email me or call me. Here is my phone number. Call me day or night. John Graham, not John Podesta. He BCC John Podesta, who I'm sure was incredibly confused as to why he was on this stupid email chain, and a year later, whatever it was, WikiLeaks released my number out. Yeah, it's an amazing story. So the reason I want to just clarify for that is to everybody who keeps emailing me and calling me and tweeting me about how I'm emailing with John Podesta. I'm not emailing with John Podesta.
Wow, that's actually really scary because it is personal information.
Can somebody check Facebook Live, please?
But I think Steve's point is correct earlier. The reason people would care about the CNN thing is because they do feel like the system is rigged and that the deck is stacked against them. And that's why Bernie Sanders did so well running with that outsider message, even though he's absolutely not an outsider because he's been in politics and for his entire life, and that's how he's made all his money. But running as that outsider, that's also what Donald Trump has done as well, which has been effective to him. And I do think people feel, whether it's the economy, whether it's the media, that the establishment, that the deck is stacked against them and they're losing as a result. And so this feeds that narrative that the system is rigged, that the deck is stacked against them. And that's why I do think it makes sense for him to
I want to get this in from the live chat. Long Islander says, I care that someone fed a question to Hillary Clinton for a debate. This is wrong. And it just adds to the crookedness of the entire gang.
Well, but let me ask Long Islander a question. Perhaps you could respond. Were you really an undecided voter before this information came out?
But that's it goes back to what you said on the show. You said people don't care. And that's what they're responding to, not that it's going to influence their vote.
People don't care to influence their vote. I'm sorry, I should have clarified. Do the people care in general? I care. I think what you did was wrong. I don't think it's going to change one vote.
You've worked on campaigns as well. And right now is not just, of course, wanting to influence the very small amount of voters that are undecided, but also getting your partisans out. And part of what Donald Trump, if you look at some of the most recent Fox News polling, is because he's increased his margin with Republican voters.
True.
So that's where this comes into play, not necessarily influencing those people who are on the fence, but getting getting your people to come home, getting your people to come out. And that's exactly what the FBI does as well.
Except if you, and you know this, Lisa, because you do campaigns as well. If you're down like Donald Trump, and we could all agree he's down. If he's down right now,
there's the music.
But I will tell you is you need to do more. You need to get.
We want you to come back.
Yeah, I'll move in if you like.
I love that.
We do love
having you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody.
And Julie and Lisa.
Thank you.